So how is the OnePlus 12 holding up after about 6 months? Well, pretty damn good. If you're looking for a video that gives you some purchase justification, this is the one. Now, the design is pretty much the same as last year and the year before and so on and so forth. That curved edge display, I mean, like all past iterations, and the same reason why most of us don't like curved edge displays, false positive touches, so on and so forth. Now, we do have Gorilla Glass Victus 2 on the front. Out of the box, from the factory, it comes with a screen protector already applied, so it's a bit difficult to judge its durability when there's something covering it. But I mean, if it means anything to you, the screen protector is relatively scratch-free, which is actually pretty impressive now that I think about it. The back has your more standard Gorilla Glass 5. This has been on some mountains with me, and I can't see any scratches on it. It's got a fantastic feeling. I've really enjoyed the feeling of it. Really like the look of it too. During the summer, the aluminum frame has been quite slippery. You can see it's pretty glossy, quite the light reflection there. So when my hands get sweaty and they get slippery, the phone is a little bit more difficult to handle. Now, unfortunately, this phone only comes with an IP65 water resistance rating. So that means you're not gonna be dunking it in water, taking your underwater photos when you're swimming. It's been pretty restrictive for me. I go to a lot of remote lakes and rivers, and I like to get in those remote lakes and rivers and take pictures for memories, right? As you do. You can't really do that with this phone. I get a little bit too nervous. Now for software, obviously we're running Android 14 with OnePlus's Oxygen OS over top. And for the past 6 months or so, man, updates, security updates, bug fixes especially have been really consistent to the point of where now it's recently started to slow down in the past month for bug fixes because I think they've pretty much ironed out everything. Now, Oxygen OS has been known to have, a ton of different user customization settings. I really don't take advantage of a lot of them. It's probably why I do prefer more simplistic phones like Pixel phones, because there just isn't a whole bunch of settings for me to forget about. But something I really do appreciate is the wallpaper and styles. In here, you can, of course, quickly address your wallpapers, quickly address your always-on displays. There's a ton of options in here, too. You can change around colors, nice and easy. They give you demonstrations of what it looks like. Of course, you've got your edge lighting, which I'm personally not a fan of. It's just a really nice way to be able to change the look and feel of your phone every few weeks or so if you get bored. Now, one underrated feature that I discovered while I was out camping is turn on and off flashlight with the volume button. So here's an example, right? You wake up in the middle of the night in your tent, you gotta go pee, right? Instead of stumbling around looking for your flashlight, you just gotta reach over and look for your phone, the glow from your always-on display, right? You grab it, and all you simply do is press and hold on your volume down button, flashlight turns on, you go pee, you come back, turn it back off. You don't have to unlock your phone or nothing. You just press the volume down button again. So underrated, dude. But anyways, a lot of the really interesting features you'll find in accessibility and convenience. All kinds of stuff, your split view, floating windows, different screen recording settings, lots of gestures and motions, as you just saw. But you know what? I don't use like 98% of them. So that being said, in the past, Oxygen OS has been criticized for feeling, pretty bloated with different kinds of software we just don't need. This time around, it's pretty darn tame, dude. I went immediately into the app drawer when I got it, and I started kind of fishing through. There isn't a whole lot, if any, apps that you don't need that kind of overlap with what Google gives you automatically, which is really, really nice. Just a ton of my own user apps. And then, of course, we jump into settings, and the settings, I feel like they're finally starting to figure it out. It's not submenus on submenus on submenus so that you get lost. A lot of them are just kind of consolidated, which is really nice. So it's actually starting to feel and almost look a little bit more like Samsung Galaxy phones. Now, it does come with a slightly bigger display than I prefer at 6.8 inches, but I mean, look at that thing. Come on, that is a solid display. But yeah, QHD plus resolution, 1600 nits max outdoor brightness, 4500 nits max HDR brightness. It's been a fantastic display. 100% P3 color gamut. As you can see, the colors look super deep, super nice, 10-bit color as well, so lots and lots of color data there. Now, touching base on performance a little bit here, I've been using the OnePlus 12 right alongside the Pixel 8 Pro this whole time. And something I noticed is that, launching apps, browsing, scrolling, pretty much everything is just a little bit snappier on the OnePlus 12 with that Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 compared to the Pixel 8 Pro with its Tensor chip. So in my personal opinion, personal experience, I think the 12 is just a slightly faster phone than the Pixel 8 Pro with its Tensor. So I know that's not a direct scientific comparison between the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 and the new Tensor chip, but my experience has been the 12 is just a faster phone. Now, something else really important to take into consideration is that the base model OnePlus 12 is $200 cheaper than the Pixel 8 Pro's base model, but the OnePlus 12's base model comes with 256 gigs of internal storage, and the 8 Pro only comes with 128. Furthermore, the OnePlus 12 has UFS 4.0 internal storage, whereas the 8 Pro only has 3.1. So technically speaking, the OnePlus 12 is going to be better at gaming performance, for example, with its new Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 than, the Pixel 8 Pro with its Tensor chip. And here's the thing. Even though its marketing claims that it's going to have better cooling performance, smaller chip, so on, blah, 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 it actually still thermal throttles after about, 15, 20 minutes of gaming on more graphically intense type games. Now, there's ways to obviously mitigate that. You can drop down the resolution, you can lower down the refresh rate, which can all actually be done in OnePlus's game app. I mean, there's so much here to change the graphics beyond what the game actually offers you, so you can adjust how much or little battery you want. So yeah, really impressive with all the different, graphics and performance optimization options they give you in that in-game app. Now, with regards to that dual cell 5400 milliamp hour battery, battery life's pretty good. It's not as 2 days good as some other reviewers seem to have claimed. I get about a day and a half if I'm not power using it. When I am power using it, like I'm out in the mountains, right? And I'm using GPS, maximum brightness, I'm Bluetoothing music, I'm taking a ton of pictures and videos. I can burn through it by about, if I start at 8 o'clock in the morning, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll probably have 20% left. So it's not as great as they claim, but it's pretty good if you're not power using it. I cannot overstate how convenient 80 watt wired fast charging is. This one will give you, I think it's like 50% charge in about 15 minutes. It's lightning fast. 50 watt wireless charging has been really, really nice. All right, cameras. So what do the pictures look like now? Well, in the beginning, we were plagued with some focus issues, autofocus issues, HDR photo issues. Sometimes it was overexposed, sometimes it was underexposed. But since all of these updates have come out over the past several months, a lot of them being camera bug fix focused, no pun intended, images have been vastly improved, right? Focus hunting is pretty rare these days. Focus is usually working pretty good. HDR exposure, it's rarely over or underexposed. It's usually pretty bang on. In general, exposure has been improved, which means colors improve just that much more as well. Now, as far as telephoto goes, I'll be honest with you, man, zoom ranges all the way right up to the 6 times looks pretty fantastic. You start going beyond 6 times and the image starts to break down and degrade pretty quickly. But for 6 times being on the digital end, that is really impressive. Really fantastic post-processing going on there. I'll roll some images to show you guys what I mean. When I'm taking pictures of things that are kilometers away from me and they look quite clear and crisp, that's pretty impressive for a phone that's whatever it is right now, $800. 4K video looks absolutely fantastic. Little to no noticeable rolling shutter. Exposure transitions are really nice and smooth, and it's got really solid image stabilization. You can go even further, but then you're dropping down resolution to 720 or 1080, I can't remember. The selfie camera's actually been pretty good the majority of the time I've had it. Exposure seems to be pretty good most of the time without completely blowing out the highlights every single photo when you're facing the sun. Skin tones look pretty good. Background colors look pretty good. And it's nice that you can actually adjust the background focus in portrait mode if you want to. I don't really bother taking portraits, so you won't see a whole lot of those, but all in all, it's been a really fantastic camera system. For a phone at this price, it does a sincerely fantastic job at almost everything. Anyways, they got a lot right with the OnePlus 12. They're not selling you on a whole bunch of bells and whistles with the AI moniker attached to it. High-end specs, high-end cameras, high-end display, much lower price than a lot of its competitors. You really can't go wrong. Anyways, I think that's gonna do it for this one. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Cheers.